Hey, good morning, everybody. We are live from Mindset Monday. I'm here with my co host, Dave. And today we are going to talk about the power of patience. It's not sexy, it's actually incredibly boring. And I think the reason it needs to get covered is because most people don't understand it. All right. It takes time to develop, it takes time to build, and it takes time to earn. Right. And most of us were so geared and so wired towards instant gratification. I mean, it's everything. You order on Amazon and it's there same day or the next day. Right. So, as a culture, like culturally, we lost our ability to have patience. Okay. And the reality is, when you're anything that you want to achieve is going to require aggressive patience. Right. Ed talks about aggressive patience. It's doing all the work that you can to towards a goal and waiting after for it to happen. Like, think about it like this: if I'm 170 right now and I want to get to 190, I have to add 20 pounds of muscle. It's going to take me probably 20 to 40 weeks to add 20 pounds of muscle if I'm doing it correctly, if I'm doing it, the right way. So I can work out every single day. Working out more, okay, is not necessarily going to get me there faster, right? So if I'm sticking to my plan, working out every day, what do I need? I need patience, right? I need patience to stick with the plan. Same thing comes with running a company. Everyone wants to go from 0 to 100 million. Well, first off, very few people actually get to 100 million. Very few people even get to a million, right? So you have to have patience and stick to that plan to get from 0 to a million. And then you're probably going to have another plan to go from 1 to, let's say, 2.5. And then from 2.5 to 5 is a different plan. And each time you have to work the plan and have patience, aggressive patience, right? Investing. All right. Think about, everyone likes to talk about money flows and making a lot of money in certain investments. Well, I've been investing some of my best investments. I invested in 2014, and I've continued to invest on a weekly basis in them up until, and I'm still doing it, right? Those are my very, very best investments. 2014 was 11 years ago. Okay. Like, you don't think about it because the time's passed. But I've done one thing for 11 years. Okay. One investing strategy, or actually, sorry, I've had two really investment strategies for 11 years. Okay. And that's where all my discretionary income is gone. How do you think those are playing out right now? If I was doing this and I had 11 years worth of patience, how much patience, how many people do you know has stuck with anything for 11 years? Okay. And why am I saying this? I'm saying it because it matters, right? This is a skill. This is something that you actually have to practice to get good at. And most people want to see quick, immediate results, right? If you think about all the investing I did since 2014, if I was constantly trading in and out, the fees on that would be incredible, right? I would probably have way more losses too. Instead, I just kept it in. And you could go down the line with anything in your life that you're dealing with right now. And, it comes down to that. Now, what's not patient, or what's not going to work is, hey, you just being patient and sitting on your ass. Okay. Because that doesn't work. But if you have done everything, you put in all the work, you did all the actions and all the activities that are building up to a certain goal, and there's really not much more you could do, well, then that's it. It is what it is. And you have to have patience and you have to have trust and faith to stick with the plan. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, bro. It's everybody's looking for a hack, right? There's a hack to this. There's a hack to that. There's a shortcut to this. There's a shortcut to that. That's it's kind of like where this internet culture has been predicated on. But what it's proven is that that shit doesn't work, man. Like there is no hack. You need time on your side for everything, and it's been proven over and over and over again. Now, have things accelerated in a different manner? Do we live in a different world with all this technology and stuff? And could some things be quicker? Sure. It's not going to be overnight though. That old adage, hey, I'm a 10-year overnight success. It's still going to take time, guys. The best example or the best analogy I could give you, right? Look at baking a cake. It's going to take 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Well, that's too long. I want to pump it up to 450 and let's see what happens in 10 minutes, right? What are you going to be left with? Probably a pile of mess, pile of a wet pile of shit, really. You know what I mean? So, like, run the play, follow the instructions. It's probably going to take longer than you really think. Like Jonathan was talking about going from 170 to 190. Give yourself a grace period of some extra time on that, because sure, you can have a road plan or a roadmap, but you're going to get hit with adversity along the way too, right? What if on that journey 170 to 190, maybe you get some little nagging injury or something that slows you down. Maybe you get sick or something, right? So understand that you're gonna go along the curves in the road, and it's not gonna get you to a straight line. It's also gonna be mundane, dude. It's gonna be super boring, right? To do the same steps over and over and over again, but you know that those steps are what's gonna get you there.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this. There's a lot of people that love planning. There's a lot of people that like action and just doing, right? And then there's the third choice, a healthy plan with all the action that's needed or all the activity needed to accomplish it. It doesn't matter. Like, you could hit your goal on option 2, just a lot of action. It's going to take you a lot longer. Or option 3, when you have a plan, you have action. Well, the only other thing you need is patience. All right. And when you guys are doing this and you're in this, that's usually the hardest part, because then you start seeing other opportunities pop up. You see other distractions pop up. And now the plan that you had is not as appealing, or it's not as sexy. Why? Because you didn't have the patience to see it through. And you think something else brand new is going to get you there quicker, when that's usually not the case, right? And think about, when you're doing these things, okay, and you make that plan and you take the action and now you're waiting, you also have to measure, okay? Is it working? Am I seeing progress, right? Because if you're not seeing progress, or you're not seeing progress after a day or after 2 months, like if I need to gain 20 pounds and after 3 weeks of whatever diet and exercise regimen I'm on, I haven't gained a pound, well, then it's time to reevaluate, was the plan any good, right? I don't throw everything away. I don't throw the goal away. I just find another way to approach it that is more likely to bring me to success, right? And this is true for almost every single area of your life. Now, Dave touched on, we live in different times. We have way more technology now, right? That makes it easier to build, right? We have tools that we didn't have, like ChatGPT and some of these other things. So you can do things faster, but it doesn't take away that you're going to need to put the necessary time in, the necessary effort in. You have to stick to that plan, right? And the people that do usually wind up doing way, way better. And then everyone wonders, like, oh, you just popped up and had all this success overnight. Well, it wasn't overnight. You didn't see the struggle for 2 or 3 years trying to figure it out and the patience to stick with it, right? Like, I've done a couple things, guys, here that even in the last 3 weeks that most people would, like any influencer would flex these very, very hard. I haven't even posted them yet, okay? Because I don't like sharing that stuff. But you know what? These 2 massive wins I have, they are the result of those 11 years of patience. They're the result of doing the same thing and serving business owners for 15 years in with their lending needs and helping them grow. Okay. So when you guys see these things, you don't see what happened behind them. And I think if you actually saw and understood what happened behind them and how most of what allowed me to do those things and allowed all these people that you look up to do these things is having that amount of patience.
Yeah, there's an old saying that I say a lot around everybody between Brad, Renan, and everybody. It said, "Hey, how many shit sandwiches can you eat? How can you get used to the taste sometimes? To have that patience, to keep going through those times, that 11 years, right?" One thing that I think people don't realize too over that journey is you're building habits and discipline. Something critical for me is I've been fortunate enough until I got to, close to my 40s, at that point, to be able to eat like a garbage can and not understand, or understand, hey, I could do what I want, not gain weight. While Father Time eventually caught up with me. And then the rest of the world, COVID, all that stuff. And then before you know it, I'm 50 pounds heavier, like, what seemed like overnight. But going back to 2021, when this whole, and you and I were talking a little bit about 75 hard in the last, 200 some days. And guys, it took me pretty much almost 3 years to continuously build the patience and have the habit in of how I got to eat right. Yes, it doesn't feel good sometimes. Food is fuel. It's not a crutch, but to build that habit and to have that patience right over those 4 years, to be like, okay, it's ingrained in me now. It's been a journey. Like, okay, if I need to look a certain way and gain a certain point, diet is how I'm going to get there. I can lift until I'm blue in the face. I could do this exercise. I could do that exercise till I'm blue in the face. But until I have the patience to understand how my body reacts to what I'm doing with this food and how I'm going to look and feel, then that's the way it is. And it took me a long time. Dude, tons of patience to get there. It's like, man, this sucks. It sucks, but this is it. This is what I needed. And if you didn't take the last 3.5, 4 years to understand that, every time I would come off, I would probably balloon right back up 25 pounds in probably 2 months easily.
Yep. That's it, man. So guys, first, you got something out of this, share it with people that need to hear it. And 2, do us a favor. Share it with people that need to hear it. All right. And 3, practice some patience on things that matter, on your goals, right? Not the annoying liberal that's talking shit. You don't need patience there. All right, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Fuck it. That's me. Like, that's what it is. Appreciate it. See you on Financial Fitness Friday.
Be great, y'all.